Happy Wednesday, winners. It is our favorite day of the week, and you are now tuned in to another weekly episode of the Ladies in Motion podcast, Talk It Out, where we shine light on women that's winning in the local community. I'm your host, Madam Walker, and I'm super excited to interview today's winning lady. She's somebody I've been following for a long time, okay? But before we let her introduce herself, I have to give a huge shout out to our sponsor over at Renewed Canvas Beauty Bar. They specialize in lock extensions, natural hair care, and a full lock glow up. They've got the magic in their hands and love in every part, okay? This is where beauty is reborn and styles speak for themselves, and they're located on the outside of Atlanta in Jonesboro, Georgia. So you do not want to miss the opportunity to have your crown blessed by my girl, okay? Make sure you follow her on Instagram at renewed_canvas because your hair deserves royalty. Now, back to the show. Welcome to the show. Miss Jo Jo is her name. Everybody, welcome.
Thank you so much for having me. I am honored.
Thank you so much. Yes. I truly am honored to have you. We talked a lot, y'all, before we got to recording.
Yes.
And
I'm a talker.
We've talked a lot also through DMs over the past few years, you know, so this is such a blessing and an honor to just have you here finally in the studio with me. Welcome to the show, girl.
Yes.
So before we get started, I'm going to have you introduce yourself. Okay. And then we're going to get right into this interview. She told me that I was the first person this is her first podcast.
Yes.
So I feel honored to have that privilege, y'all. Okay.
Yes.
So stay tuned. She's coming with all the knowledge, all the gems. Okay.
I'm going to try.
You got it going on naturally. Okay. So yes, go ahead and introduce yourself. And if you have anybody you'd like to shout out before we get started, let's do that then.
Well, guys, I am JoJo, also known as Jo Jo Stylez on these internet streets. And, I do a lot. I am a photographer, occupational therapist, and a cool mom, honey. Also deemed the content killer, okay? So I have been juggling all of these different, I like to say, passions, gifts, whatever, you guys want to call them, for a long time. So I am a firm believer that you can be passionate, multi-passionate in multiple areas. And it is okay to lean into every gift you have been given. And just live out loud and pursue all of the things. So that's a little bit about me.
Love it.
A very little bit, because sis does too much.
Listen, I cannot wait. We are really going to tap into it all. I think I'm talking to the perfect person today because if you know me, I am a girl that I can do all the things.
Period.
So sometimes I have a hard time like balancing, or sometimes like, girl, you tripping. Sadie, just focus on this or just focus on that. But, I am realizing that I can do it all and balance it all, as long as I have a plan and time management. So I'm glad I got the content killer, the cool mom on the couch, photographer, OT, author, all that on the couch today.
Yes.
Okay. So do you have anybody you want to shout out?
Go on my page.
There you
go. If you go on Captured by Jo, I work with so many amazing entrepreneurs. I'm just in a point in my business where I always ask for God to bring me amazing people. So any of the people that you see on there are amazing. They have amazing stories. They're killing it. They're doing amazing things in healthcare, in the corporate world, in the creative space. So just follow Captured by Jo _ and you'll see some boss babes, some girlies that you need to follow, because I can't shout out everybody.
Right.
I know a lot of just amazing women, amazing men, just amazing individuals doing the thing. So yes, I'm always tagging my people on there. So yes, follow them.
And she's speaking facts, because that's how I've actually found some of my guests this season. Literally, one time for BJ, I just found out, that you've been knowing her for a while. So shout out to you, just being who you are.
Thank you so much.
Walking in your purpose, being consistent in your purpose. Because I've been here in Atlanta for 4 years, and you were one of the first people who I connected with. Y'all, she is true to this, not new to this.
Hello,
okay?
Clock it.
Listen.
You like that, cuz?
Listen, I've been in her DMs since I first moved here. I had my first vision board party in 2021 of April when I moved here. Remember?
Yes, you invited me, girl, y'all.
but it's, we couldn't get our scheduling right. It was a lot, going on. But just to see right now, this is a full. I'm doing one this 2026, right. Baby.
Let's go.
Y'all stay tuned.
I'm gonna be there.
Listen,
the kids may be with me.
And they can come, because at that one I had a young lady there. She had a new baby there. She brought her baby with her, So, and right now she's thriving. So
I love that.
God is good, And so for
Don't
me,
get me started, honey.
Get started, sis. Okay, let's get started. This is what this is about. Okay.
Yes.
So I love this. To me, this is like a full circle moment, because I was in your inbox, like I said, way back then, and you are a girl's girly. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I've been in my hometown and messaged people and they don't respond. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I was new to Atlanta, stranger, new in these streets, and you did not hesitate.
New. Everybody starts from somewhere. So I don't know. Sometimes people get a little bit, I guess,
I appreciated
for
it.
whatever they work for, whatever there is. But no, I just remember that I started somewhere. To me, I'm still a beginner.
Nah.
So
she true to this, y'all. Don't let her lie. So listen, I just want to, before I always say we talk about your story and how you got started in the lane that you're in now, and then to your success, right? So I would love to just dig into your story. We established before, we were filming officially, my girl from Florida too.
Florida girls.
Okay, so I just want to talk about, a little bit about your childhood, growing up in Florida. She said she grew up in a Haitian household. So I'm just curious to know, like, you're in this entrepreneurship lane now and thriving in it, but you also work full time as an OT. Yeah. That's crazy.
Yes.
So I'm just curious to know, like, in your childhood, did you have people, what was taught to you in your childhood? Like, what was instilled in you? Like, you need to go to school, or you had entrepreneurs around you that that led you to believe that I could do this too? Like, just kind of tell me about the beginning stages of that. I'm very curious to know.
Okay. So I am a Florida girl. I'm from South Florida, Pompano Beach to be exact. Everybody only knows Pompano Beach from Kodak Black. So yes, exactly where Kodak Black is from. Okay. From a young age, I always knew I did not want to be a product of my environment. I always knew that I wanted something more than to be, the trapper's girlfriend or the rapper's girlfriend. So yeah, I was always a hustler. I grew up with entrepreneurs. My parents had a restaurant. My dad has businesses in Haiti. So I have always grown up to have a good work ethic. I worked in my parents' restaurant as a kid. I was always selling candy, snacks. I was always trying to find a way to make a coin, honey. So I've always had just a really good, strong work ethic when I didn't have to. I went to private school, so my parents worked really hard to give me a life different than what they had in Haiti. So, but I always like to get my own. That just has always been part of my personality. So I don't know about everybody else. It was always never an option for me to go, like, to be just a creative or whatever. I grew up with entrepreneurs, but they always were like, you're going to go to school, you're going to be a doctor, you're going to be a nurse, you're going to be something. So, I broke my parents' heart when I said I was going to be an occupational therapist. They was like, what is that?
So let's talk about that decision also, to just even go into that, because you are about to step into adulthood, once you graduate in school, high school, to make the decision to go to college. With you, it was like non-negotiable. Your parents said, no, you're going to school, which you probably wanted to do anyway, because you had that, hunger to succeed anyway.
And that's the only way I knew. Like, now in hindsight, I see how successful my parents were. Now that I'm looking up private schools for my kids, I'm like, hold on.
Okay.
Ain't no way. What?
They was making it happen.
Yes. So, but yeah, I never knew any other option, even though I grew up with entrepreneurs. My parents have had, my mom now has a restaurant. Since I was 4. So all I know is entrepreneurship, but in my mind, the only way to live an amazing life or, was to go to school and get a degree and go work somebody's job, which is okay. I love my job.
Right. We're going to talk about that, y'all. It's just crazy. We have a lot to uncover. She wears so many different hats. There's so many different layers to this queen. So I cannot wait to just uncover it all for real. So you make the decision to go to FAMU.
Yes.
To go to school
Yeah.
For occupational therapy. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Occupational therapy.
I have my bachelor's in health science, and then I had to get my master's degree in occupational
To
therapy.
go to master.
Yeah.
Okay, so I
Like-
want to talk about that.
Yeah.
Okay. So when you went into college, you knew that you were pursuing this OT thing.
I thought I was gonna be a nurse. Like them Zoes told me to go to school and be a nurse. So I said, okay, nurse it is. And I shadowed my aunt, and I was like, there is no way
that you can do this.
I can do this. 12-hour shifts? Who am I?
Right.
Running around these people's house. I was like, I can't. I love my nurses. I have a lot of nurse clients, and they killing it. But then nursing was bedside. Now my nurse clients have med spas and IV hydration businesses. You know,
Right.
in hindsight, I tell them all that I'm an honorary nurse because, but yeah, all I knew was nurses are in the hospital. They're working these 12-hour shifts, and I was like, there's no way I can't do this. So I found out about occupational therapy through a friend, and I was like, okay, I guess I'll go to school and get my master's too. I'll be at school even longer, but
that's why I want to talk about, okay? Because as entrepreneurs, we always have to get okay with pivoting, and that was a pivot way back then, right? Because you had nursing on your mind, but you end up in occupational therapy, and then you had to go to school longer to even pursue that.
Yes.
So were you ever like, I don't want to do this? Or because I know people that's been like, listen, I'm just trying to get done with school. Let me major in Spanish. I know people that's literally done that because they're just ready to be done,
No.
So I do just want to talk a little bit about your pivot process then, because now it's a whole lifetime of pivoting. You know what I mean?
I think it has always been my personality as a young age to get it. If I got my mindset on something, like it's gonna get done. I'm gonna map it out. I'm gonna come up with a plan, and that's it. So that's what it was. I was like, okay, boom, this is what I'm gonna do. Then cool. But I think from a young age, I always made very thought out decisions. So yeah. I was like, okay, I'm going to do OT. Boom, that's it. So, okay, this is what you got to do. Boom. What classes do I have to take? What GPA do I have to get in this program? And that's it.
And so after graduating, and just maybe stepping into that real world, as a career base, I'd like to know, were you already doing some side hustling then, or did you first go into okay, I'm gonna go have a career first, and then you finally found then you pivoted, pivot again, then you found yourself maybe changing lanes.
Life gonna make you pivot, and you got to be able to be flexible. To really get to where the purpose is, because it is never where you think you're gonna go.
Right.
And if you keep holding on to that stuff, it just stops your progress. But as an OT, I'm going to my job. This job I prayed for. I done work hard for. I done passed this boards exam and got this license. And I was driving home from work one day, and I was like, Lord, that be it.
Right.
I was just like, I can't do this for the rest of my life.
Right.
Literally, I don't even think I was an OT for a year yet. I was like, this can't be my life. So I woke up one day, I was like, you know what? I'm going to throw everything to the wall and see what sticks. What is going to stick for me?
Okay.
I didn't ever think about walking away from OT, but I was just I just felt unfulfilled. Even though I have a very fulfilling job. I work with special needs children. I make an impact in lives every day. But I was like, this can't be it.
Right.
I don't know what else, but I just knew that, this can't be it for me.
So what is this? The hours that I'm working, this can't be it. Or this money that I'm making, this can't be it. Or I got to do this for 20 years to retire, that can't be it.
I don't know what it was.
Yeah.
I was just I don't know. It was just a feeling of there's more. Yeah. I didn't necessarily think there was more money or a whole creative thing. I always had a blog. I was always doing YouTube on the side and fun creative things. I had a boutique by then.
Oh, did you have your boutique by then?
Where I was selling clothes. Yeah.
Okay.
I done did it all,
So we're going to talk about that because you done lived a few different lives, and I'm finding out now, Okay.
Listen, so it all helps. Like, even I told her earlier that I used to do makeup and do makeup classes. I used to do makeup and take the photos of clients too.
See?
But like, look at me. Imagine if I need a makeup artist to look like this and come here, or to do all my content. So it ends up
it's all full circle moments, you know. And we were just talking about before this and on this platform always that along the journey, God always does leave like little nuggets along the way. So
and
when
you better pick them up.
You better pick them up. Because when you look back and reflect, it's like, oh man, I always been in this lane, or I could have been more
doing this,
further along had I really tapped in and really picked in those nuggets when I first seen them being dropped. You know what I mean? So I think that's amazing that you say you were just trying all the things and whatever stuck.
Yeah.
You know, so let's talk about, you know, what did you try first? And is that still sticking? Was that the boutique? Because in a way, you're still involved. Like, I got here, I'm like, you used to have shoes, like a shoe store one time. And she's like, girl, still. And I still get orders. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
So I just want to know, like, what was the first thing that you say, hey, I'm going to throw this on the wall, and it stuck?
Yeah.
Yeah, what was that, aside from being an OT, obviously?
Yeah. The first thing I did was I started a blog. So people would always comment on, oh, girl, we love your shoes, or we love this, or we love that. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to start a blog. Way before content creation was a thing. Way before influencing was a thing. My blog is, 13 years old. Yeah, so it's crazy to think that nobody was doing this then, or people were barely doing it.
Right.
I wouldn't say no, but Instagram wasn't even a whole hot thing. There was no TikTok for the TikTok lovers, you know.
They can't even imagine that right now.
Yeah. So from then, I had a blog. I had reached out to somebody. She was a blogger as well. And I paid for like a coaching session with her. And she was like, you need to come to events with me and take photos. That'll help get traction to your blog. And I was like, cool, I'll do that. And that's how it started. I already had a professional camera because I was doing YouTube on the side, taking a couple pictures for like my blog and stuff. So I started taking people's pictures at events to get traction for my site. And people were like, oh, I love these photos. How can I book a session? And I was like, you can't book a session.
Right.
The only thing you can do is go on this blog and download these pictures. So that's all I got. And yeah, so one day I was like, you know what? I will book a session for, was it $50? I think my first little session was $50, girl. And no, I take it back. From me playing on my blog, one of my coworkers booked me for her wedding. So that was my first photography gig, was an actual wedding.
That's crazy, right?
Yeah.
See?
And then from that, I was like, oh, I can do this.
I can do this. Did you do it with the kit lens?
I did do it with the kit lens.
So we was just talking about that, right?
A whole wedding.
I did a wedding with kit lens.
A whole wedding.
That's why I say, man, I'm really good at this, though.
Yeah.
I really do know what I'm doing.
What God has for you, baby, it don't matter if you were shooting with an iPhone. Okay? If that is what it is for you, then my God. Could everybody do it? No. But if it's for you,
then
yes.
It don't matter. Yeah. You know what I mean? I love that.
Yes.
So you were starting with the blogging, and then I love to hear that you say you invested in yourself back then. You know, you had somebody show you how to, you know, like teach me the ropes so I can do this too, right? I love that because, you know, I hear about it all the time, just investing in yourself a coach if that's what you need to just really, you know, elevate yourself. I heard people say, you know, I felt like I was stuck in my business and I needed a something, and it wasn't until I got my coach or my mentor that really like took me up to the next level, you know? How do you feel about mentoring and like coaching?
I think within reason. I've spent a lot of money on different types of business coaches and consultations and whatnot. And I really think it is very important, y'all, to know your business and to know what your business gaps are. Not everybody is supposed to be coaching everybody. Sometimes people end up getting a coach for the wrong reasons because they love that person, or they value the information and the insight they're bringing to the online space, but that information may not be relevant to what your business holds are.
Right.
So sometimes I feel like, and I'm telling you this because I did it, that I got a coach prematurely.
Okay.
Or I got a coach for the wrong thing. I feel like the money that I spent on a coach, I could have very much invested it in the gaps in my business before spending all that money on a coach. So just not saying not to get a coach. Now, when I get a coach again, because I will, but it will be for specific gaps that I know my business needs.
Right.
Sometimes we get a coach, but you may need a financial advisor. Sometimes you need a coach, but you may need a social media expert. The coach is going to tell you need the social media, and you already know you needed that aspect,
Right.
but now you done spent thousands of dollars on this coach, and you can't afford to get the actual thing your business needs, the gap, to fill in that gap. So yeah, take a deep look into your business and identify what the gaps are. Because sometimes, I ain't gonna lie, you may have needed a photo shoot, sis, but you went and got that coach. Now you can't get the photo shoot because the
Right.
coach done cost, and now you're still missing what the coach is telling you needed. And you could have saved a lot of money by just going with your gut.
Right.
Yeah, and booking the photo shoot. That was a plug.
And photos make a huge difference. I don't think people realize, a professional headshot takes things up to the very next level, another level. I've worked with some graphic designers; they won't even make it if it's not a professional headshot.
Because you guys are cute with the filters. I love. They're cute. The filters are cute, but your brand, the business, the gift God has given you, deserves to be represented professionally, with excellence.
For sure.
Yeah. And I practice what I preach. When y'all follow me, y'all will see. But I'm very passionate about us showing up in excellence.
Yeah.
That's just it. Yeah.
It just gotta be that way or no other way, right?
And you want them people to run you them professional coins, honey. You gotta show up in the manner, that you want. Yeah.
It makes a difference. So, I was following a lady once who was a business coach, and based on her social media, I would have not known.
Yeah.
Because she didn't have one professional headshot actually, up there, and she probably isn't that experienced, in social media, and that's okay.
Yeah.
But then when I met her, I was like, dang.
She the bomb.com.
She is the bomb.com. Yeah. And she knew exactly what she was talking about. Like, you could tell this is her thing. But because her social media didn't exude that, it's like, dang, I could have missed that knowledge or that opportunity, But
if you just went by the online presence.
By the online presence.
It's crazy because I've grown in that where social media has become this whole new thing, and having an online presence has become this new thing. And I love the old school way of doing things, but as entrepreneurs, you have to step into how business is progressing.
Yeah, you got to stay with the times.
A business card is cool to have, but now your social media, your website, your Google, and all of that is your business card.
Yeah.
Everything. We're in a visual age. If somebody told you they were a hairstylist but never had a hairdo up, would you go to them?
Right.
No. Because how are you doing hair? We ain't seen it.
Make it make sense, right? The math is not mathing. But that's so right.
Yeah. That it's the same thing with your brand and with your business. And I tell myself all the time that if Walmart is still promoting if their household names. If Dawn Dish Soap still feel like they got to run a commercial and an ad to stay relevant, that means that us as small businesses need to be working 10 times harder because they still see it's important. Like Nike still makes, commercials. They're still texting my phone, text app, reminders to purchase. They're still doing things in their business all the time, and their household billion-dollar brands. So that means, that we still have to show up and value how the online space is progressing to keep our businesses relevant.
Yes.
Unfortunately.
But that's the time we live in.
Yeah.
And when you say it like that, like right when you're saying that, I was like, Lord, let me get it together. Because like you said, these are household names, and if they are still...
Who do you follow? Who do you follow, like, brand that they text you every day. Think about
Fashion Nova. That's when you were saying that. That's what came to mind. Listen, and Fashion Nova, they be so on it. If something happened today, their marketing is on it with relevant topics right then and there.
From your email to your text to online to they're gonna post on Twitter. There is not an untouched lane that they are not marketing. But again, that's how these companies have grown so fast, because Fashion Nova is very new.
They used to just be known for their jeans.
Yeah,
I
remember that.
Like just
the stretch jeans.
And now they got it.
Fashion Nova is shutting them people down.
Yeah.
Fashion Nova and Shein got them people in a chokehold.
Yeah.
I'm like, Forever 21.
Where
Y'all
you
want to
at?
close y'all doors?
Yeah.
Because y'all did not. Forever 21 is a prime example of people who don't want to. They're relying on the name that they built 10, however many years ago, and now they're closed because they refuse to step into social media and that online presence like the big bosses they were.
Yeah.
And now they closed.
Ain't that
scary.
something? That's scary. So that's a key.
Don't do your brand like that. As the times are moving, you have to move.
You got to move with the times.
You have to.
Oh my God. It's so funny because we was just having this conversation too with like the AI and the Chat GPT, and somebody was super against the Chat GPT, but I know somebody that done showed me some things about Chat GPT, and I'm like, okay.
If you scared about ChatGPT, you scared to do business.
Yes.
Everything is a tool to make your business grow. You either work with it or you work against it.
Listen.
And working against it means you're going to be... Once you see Google, your phone, Amazon, Instagram, everybody done adapted AI, I suggest you figure out how to make it benefit and work for you. As uncomfortable as it may be, you got to learn to embrace it.
You got to embrace
scary.
it. Yeah, it is.
But...
You'll get
reality.
left.
Yeah.
You'll get left.
Real quick.
Real quick.
And you end up working harder, not smarter. And I don't know about y'all. But I got 2 toddlers at home, baby. I don't have time to be working harder.
Right.
They already hard.
Okay, hard enough.
Hello.
Listen, I love that, and I just cannot wait to just continue this because we already starting off so like, good, because this is real stuff. You know what I mean? It really, really is. So you had your blog though.
Yeah.
And you've been doing, you were showing up, taking pictures, go here, download them. But I just want to ask you, like, when did business get serious for you? Like, when did you realize, like, okay,
I got something.
I got something and I need to take it and I need to take this and run with it,
Yeah. So, that's a good question.
I'm curious to know. I got to know.
Oh, y'all, when your back is against the wall. Oh, and he gonna make sure it's against the wall.
Give you no choice.
Hello.
Because he been leaving nuggets and you've been ignoring it. So now.
Because you prioritize other things. And the thing is, for the longest time, people were like, oh, she doesn't take her business serious because she got a career. And I was like, am I not taking my business?
Right. Now you question you.
Yeah. But after this, like, I was in a relationship for almost a decade. And after that breakup, you go to, paying things with somebody else, and you ain't got to be responsible for all the things on your own. And then you realize, hold on, I got to pay for this apartment, everything, and all of the things by myself. Luckily, then my business started building up a little traction.
Photography.
Yeah.
Okay.
Photography started building up a little bit of traction. So I was like, okay, this could possibly be something. And I was like, you know what? I am going to actually, I ain't got no choice at this point.
Right.
People are asking, hey, when will you take my photos? Can you take my photos? Because now people started booking me to take pictures at their events and things like that. So I was like, okay, maybe this is something. Maybe, God is trying to tell me something.
Yeah.
So, okay, I'll make the website. It's not like I could make my own website. So I made the website, it started off as an extension on my blog.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was jojostylez.com/ and that's when what was my first name? Oh, the Stylish Experience, child, please.
Okay.
People kept thinking I was a stylist. I was like, you know what? I need to figure out a different name. But that's how it started off. It was on an extension of my blog where people could book the Stylish Experience and they can get photos, and I would do their makeup as well, because then I was doing YouTube tutorials on YouTube, like with makeup tutorials and hair things and all of the things. Y'all don't go... Don't go look at them old videos. The new videos are a little
I gotta
lit,
go
but
find
the
them
old,
now.
yeah, the old videos, Lord. But yeah, so I made that website and I was like, okay, boom. I started promoting get some photos taken.
I'm curious to know, like, prior to that, when you question yourself, like, wow, am I not taking this serious? Like, what was it maybe that still had you, like, you know, like, what was your hesitance, if there was any? Or was it like, I work full time, I don't know how I'm going to have the time to do this? Like,
it was
I'm
never
curious to
about the
know.
time. Cause
Okay.
like I've always had such a strong work ethic. So it was never about the time for me. What it was my own self-doubt and like self-sabotaging behaviors, I think, where I'm like, I went to school for this. I'm a professional at this. I have a degree. I have a license. You get what I'm saying?
Right, I get that.
So this is, you know, a hobby. So when people would make comments like that, those comments would be louder than the, oh my gosh, I love my pictures. Oh my gosh, your work is great. Oh my gosh. To me, this was a hobby, you know, and oh my gosh, these people are, you know, like doing me a favor to give me a chance to take their photos versus like, this is a gift God has given me.
Yeah.
And I should treat it as such. But no, I was like, no, this man has given me this degree.
Right. Girl, you better
this piece of paper. So that holds more weight. And it doesn't.
That's powerful what you just said, for real. That's powerful, girl.
But, you know, we'll go back into it because when I finally just was like, oh my gosh, no, I can hold space in the photography arena. You know, I can hold space as a brand photographer.
Yeah.
And I was like, I am a professional at this and I'm a professional at that. And then I leaned into the whole creative space where I said, you know what? I don't need OT. And guess what God said? You gonna do it all, sister.
You gonna do it all because you're still in OT.
Yeah, I took a year off. I opened up a second studio for a little while. I took a year off. Found out I was pregnant again, child, girl.
Let me tell you.
And God said, oh no, I need you to get back to OT. I need you to make an impact there, and I need you to make an impact here. And when I say, you know what, God, if I have to do it for 20 years or 2 years, I will do whatever I have to do as long as I have to do it if it's your will. And boom, he was like, make this workbook.
Yeah. So listen.
Yeah.
Okay. This is insane. Okay, because I just found something out.
Yeah.
So you only took a year off from professional work, OT.
Yeah.
That's
1 year.
That's crazy.
And half of the year I was pregnant, y'all. So guess what? I stopped my job on a Wednesday. Was my last day. On that Saturday, I found out I was pregnant.
Wow.
With my second child. So I was like, I would have stayed at them people's job.
Okay. So photography.
Yeah.
Right now, you know, I see when I go on your website, you she's the content killer.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know.
Yes.
But I see that, you know, you do brand shoots. You could do, you know, you can do a headshot, but you do brand shoots, lifestyle shoots, stuff like that. How do you feel like, you know, how long were you in photography before you feel like you found your lane, if you've even done that? Like, what would you say your target market or target audience is, and how did you find that lane and get secure in that? Because some people, you know, I had to learn this too, because I used to have a friend back in Florida. I did events with her, and I remember telling her, when these people book you, I'm not gonna help. You can pay somebody else to assist you. She's like, what? No, girl, get this money. And I'm like, listen,
that ain't my lane.
That's just not my lane. Those aren't my clients. You know, I don't enjoy working with them, for them. Every time I go over there, my energy, nothing is right. You can get that money and give it to somebody else, but those are not my people, you know? So I'm curious to know, like, as photographers, you know, I know what it's like as an entrepreneur. You want to get all the money and you want to take everybody, but, you know, it's very nice when I do see people confident in their lane, you know? So I want to ask you, like, how did you find your lane? Did you have to go through any things, like, to realize, like, oh, okay, I'm not doing mini sessions, or no, I'm not doing this. You know, I'm curious to know your journey and your photography journey.
Okay, so I was, like I said, I started with like taking events and taking pictures at events. So I ended up always at networking events taking pictures. So quite naturally, I ended up shooting a lot of entrepreneurs, but I would still shoot people who were bloggers. I would still shoot family sessions. I would still shoot all kinds of things, boudoir, whatever people ask. I'm like, I'm the girl with the camera, whatever you want, I'm here to do. And I guess my niche kind of found me. Not saying that I don't shoot families, because I have some clients that even though I started shooting them for branding, they're like, no, JoJo, you're the one who's going to take my maternity photos. You're going to shoot my family. You're going to shoot my wedding.
Yeah, you're just their photographer now.
And I love, like I told you, like from high school, I was always the girl walking around with a disposable camera, taking pictures at the field trips on the last day of school and passing them out. I just love taking moments and making them last a lifetime, whether it is personal or whether it is business moments. But it took time for me to realize that I like that, because people are always saying you need to niche down.
Right.
People are always saying that you need to find your lane. But I feel like branding is where I really shine, because I built a personal brand. I have, like, you know, with the shoes and so I have always been a person who has been in front and behind the camera. So I have always been able to help my clients who are always so new to creating content and being in front of the camera learn to become comfortable. And because I'm not just a photographer, I have, you know, these other businesses where I create content for them too. I get to offer that insight and that value and help people not show up for their brand shoots like it's their birthday photos, because I know the difference.
Right.
Yeah.
Because it makes a difference.
It makes a difference. And it's more strategic. And I help them with the strategies that I have applied in my personal brand or business. And help them leverage that in their business. Yeah. To add a little value to it, because it can be really intimidating to shoot for your business when you've never done it before.
Yeah, I love that. And, you know, this is, your gift truly will make room for you. You know what I mean? Like, I'm glad that there's someone out here like you that knows this lane, is, you know, this is your expertise, because it's not for me. And, you know, and I need someone just like you that will help me, you know, it's my birthday month now. Yes, so I would need someone like preparing for a birthday shoot to let me know, because I would go in, my headshot with probably birthday energy, like you said. Like, you know.
And I'm like, girl, you didn't come with your brand colors. You have products. You didn't bring your products, girl.
Yeah, and I'm just smiling. Just posing and smiling. And it's a brand shoot.
I'm like, no brand colors, no this, no that. Like, what is your message? That's why I have consultations with my brand sessions too, because I'm like, what is the goal? And they're like, wait, what? They just told me I needed photos. I got tired, but my business has gone through phases of being where it is this thought out, because I want people to look at their brand with a certain, you know, level of understanding, because I get it all the time where I shot with another photographer and they didn't do this or they didn't say this, because really it's not their job to. They're just there to take photos. It is your business, your vision. So I kind of help my people think about photos in a different light. I don't know, I just like making impact and adding value to people. So because I had that knowledge, I'm like, why don't I share? Okay, I can take the photos, but in addition to that, I can also help you feel comfortable and knowledgeable and realize that this is not just a regular photo shoot. This is your marketing material.
This is it right here. Your digital, like you said, your business card, your digital business card. You know, this is what people are going to see. So
on your website, on all of, you know, and not just for a social media post, your email signatures and all of the things that you need these digital assets for. So,
and if you're thinking big, it should be important, like sponsorship and everything else, like corporates for media. Exactly.
Yeah, and the thing is too, because as a blogger, brands were sending me products, so like products to take photos and to post on my. So I not only did I know how to make this stuff for my business, I knew how to make it for, you know, household brands. Again, chapstick, Elf, you know, just all the brands. Like I went on brand trips.
Okay.
With Elf and Ipsy and Ipsy are they still a thing?
Is Ipsy? They are still around for sure.
Yeah. So I just saw it in different ways, from a creative and then from a photographer lens, and then using that knowledge to help other small entrepreneurs like grow and flourish their brands.
And again, it just testifies to everything that we've been saying now. Like, got to be leaving the little nuggets.
You got to pick
even
them up.
if it's not for you directly, you know, because I want to get into how you became the content killer. Like, you know, having that name, because to me, that is someone who knows their stuff, and you're confident that you know your stuff.
Yeah.
So you named yourself the content killer. I've always liked that name. So I just want to talk about, you know, that, because we're in this new, you know, I feel like us millennials are in that. Like we're getting the best of both worlds, shall I say.
We do.
You know what I mean?
And it's a good and a bad thing.
So it's a good and a bad thing.
Yeah.
So you can either be up to date, you know, some of us have kept up with the
we
times.
can be aunties.
Oh, so look, me, I'm a fine line between
the hip auntie, because some parts of me like the auntie life.
Yes, so that's me.
I tell everyone I'm like a retired rich auntie turned cool mom, because I was settled in my auntie phase, okay? And these kids came.
Okay, so you know we do have to go with the times, though. So you know the whole content killer thing. How do you feel like you've mastered this though? And now that you've mastered it so much in a way that you can help people, because I've been on your website and I see that like certain packages you come with like a 30-day content calendar. Like that is not like somebody like me.
Yeah.
You know, that's the one I'd book, because I know that I need that, you know. So I just want to know, like, how do you perfect your craft? You know, like, how have you perfected that craft so much so that you are the content killer and you're able to help people confidently, and you know that these strategies work. And will be successful?
Because I practice what I preach.
The proof's in the pudding.
The proof's in the pudding. I don't give people advice that I don't do.
Okay.
I show up in excellence all the time. My headshots are always updated. Therefore, I can tell people you need to update your headshots. I tell people you need foundational images, because I have them. Then you can move on to all the fun branding things like I do now. Like, but I have created a culture, a dynamic, a foundation where people know who Captured by Jo is. Then now I can do all the fun little skits and all the whatever things, because I have such a strong online identity. So I practice what I preach, y'all. That's just it. I am always staying relevant, and I'm always creating, because it's in me. It's something I enjoy. And that's getting back to, because at first I started to do just that cookie cutter, you know, social media way of doing things, because now you've been in the game for a little bit and it's time to be more serious, but that's draining. So now, because I put in the work on the front end, I get to have a little more fun with my content now. But it's taken a long time. So that's why I deem myself the content killer, y'all.
Love it.
Because the girl practiced what she preached. I'm not telling you to do something that I don't do. I'm doing it. And I'm always showing up and pivoting and navigating. And I'm not afraid to. I'm not afraid to look a fool or to, you know, act a little bit, or, you know, put on an accent if I have to. Whatever it takes to create the content and to get the message through, I'm going to do it.
I love that.
Yeah.
So we got to get out our own way. Stop being scared. Stop overthinking.
And if you don't want to, you can pay somebody to. It's just my people enjoy seeing me. If somebody else showed up doing the whatever, or I had a commercial and it was just with other people, like,
if I came across your page, I'd be like, who is this on Jo Jo page?
Yeah. I had a coach tell me that I need to get an assistant, where I need to move out of the business.
No.
Yeah, which in hindsight, this was before I had kids though. And she was like, you know, when you have a family and blah, 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 you may want to move out of the business. So you have an assistant, you train them, and then they shoot your clients. And I was like, my clients would leave.
Yeah. No.
They're here for
you, you know, and your expertise. And even though it's your business and you could bring somebody under and we would trust it, but they'll just never be you.
I hate to say
respectfully.
it. So, respectfully. So, that'll be interesting, because it's so funny. I'm trying to teach my mom how she needs to learn how to not be the sole reason how her business runs, and trying to phase herself out of the business. Right. So
that's good.
It'll be interesting to see how she has a restaurant. I think that's a lot easier than, you know,
said than done.
Yeah.
Yes. But you know, once she is there, she is gonna love it.
Yeah.
You know, because I will say this: my restaurant owner, I manage restaurants.
Yeah.
I never see her no more.
Yeah.
But when the business first opened, we seen them a lot. But now,
Smooth sailing. That's
you
what,
know,
that's what.
they're smooth. That's
Yeah.
what I'm there for.
Yeah.
You know, and I would love that for her. You
Yes.
know, my boss be living her best life.
That's
She
what
really
I need.
do.
That's what I need for my girl. She needs to exit stage left.
I do want to talk to you about balance because, and we're going to get into motherhood. We're going to, you know, we have a lot.
Yeah.
But I'm just curious to know about balance, like how, but even before your children, like how were you balancing being an OT?
Yeah.
You're doing though photography. You know, you got your blog, you know, you had the shoot, like you have worn all these different hats, like just even having your personal life. So how was it having balance, like since you've even just started in this whole adult life, OT, entrepreneurship, even before the kids? I'm curious to know how balance has been like for you.
It has
Friends,
been a journey.
family, everything.
It has been a journey.
Yeah.
And balance comes with time. It does not happen overnight. You have to, sometimes you're in your grind season and you have to eat, breathe, and sleep your business, and that is okay. But you have to think about what the long-term goal is and what you want your ideal life to look like, and setting realistic goals financially, time-wise, so that it makes sense for the bigger picture. And I don't think people think about the bigger picture. I love to travel, so I knew that whatever business I had, I couldn't be tied down all the time. But when I first opened my studio, which was unplanned, I didn't plan to open my studio at all.
We're gonna hit at that next then.
Now that's a testimony. But I opened my studio. I was there from 8 o'clock. By then I was doing OT. So now I do OT Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So I have more a part-time schedule, but I see kids every hour on the hour while I'm there.
Yeah.
So on from Monday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I would be at my studio sometimes from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m.
Wow.
grinding it out.
So you're grinding in the studio, you're working full time, you got to have a personal life somewhere between that.
But then in that season, there was no
was
personal life. Unless I was leaving the studio, then I would go get drinks with friends or whatever. I would still find ways. I don't know. Maybe in college, I tell everyone I went to school full time, I work full time, and I party full time. So maybe I learned to balance.
You were prepared.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I still would tiptoe. You know, I would still be outside a little bit. But then I would still go home and I'd be editing photos till 3, 4 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
I would go to sleep, wake up. I don't know. Maybe college prepped me for this life.
I'm telling you, just
you
been
think
prepared
it's over
the whole
in college,
time.
yeah, but you know.
Dang,
you make it work, but then you realize, you know what? I need some sleep. So it's either the business runs you or you run the business. So you eventually get tired. Yeah. And you're like, I can't be disposable. You know, you can't hit me up at 8 o'clock at night and say, hey, can you shoot these headshots?
Yeah.
You're going to get spread thin if you don't put boundaries.
If you don't put up those boundaries.
You're going to get spread thin enough to have to put up some boundaries. And once you get a taste of boundaries, you're like, you know what? Ooh.
I love it here. This is a wonderful life.
Who called my phone? It's 5 o'clock.
Yeah, no, baby. Boundaries are the best.
So then that's when you decide, hey, you know what? We're going to do a little bit of this here, a little bit of that there. And then you figure out your balance, but you will spread yourself so thin that you're forced to put some boundaries in place. And then you taste like, oh, this how it feels to be off by such and such. And I could go have dinner and I could do this and I could do that.
Now you're the boundary queen, you know?
Now you're like, who? Listen, I told them that job, I need Thursdays off. I can't even work on Thursdays no more because that's a me day.
That's just for me. Rightfully so. Yeah. And if you don't find, like, you can't find balance, like, without the proper boundaries being set in place. Shout out to Monique Garside. She was telling me, you know, boundaries are... You know, that's how you treat people, that's how you show people how to treat you. And that's how you know, that's the love that you give yourself. If you love yourself, you will put up some boundaries.
And
you know what I mean?
Same thing in business.
Yeah.
If you don't, people, and you love your clients. I love my clients. But the thing is, that does not mean I am just disposable at any time.
Right.
Sometimes I would leave the therapy clinic, go shoot events, turn around, edit pictures the same night.
Yeah.
And then have to turn around and do it all over again. So you'll get spread thin enough where you realize you have to say, hey, I love you. I love our relationship or whatever it is we're building. but I'm not available. As a matter of fact, tomorrow's my day off. And then you end up resting, and then you can do those sporadic things every now and then. But when you're already spread through so thin, and then you with no boundaries, oh please,
then you can't even be your best self. Like when you are like that,
now
you know.
Upset.
I want to talk to you about relationships.
Yeah.
You know, not just romantic relationships, but when I started, you know, I felt like walking boldly in my purpose. You know, everybody can't come with you. And I started losing people I thought will always be here and yada, yada, yada. You know, I'm curious to know what that's been like for you, you know, because you do go through seasons where it's like, bro, y'all outside, I'm not outside this season, actually. Yeah. You know, now it's I'm acting funny. Now it's this or that. Or, you know, you lose people on this journey. Yeah. So I want to know, how do you deal with that? How have you dealt with that? You know, if you had, and what has that been like? Because it hurts sometimes, but sometimes it's like, you know, I see that, you know, now sometimes I do my little shout because I realize once I done cut so-and-so off, I've actually been thriving.
Or
you know,
they cut you off. Either way.
Thank you, Lord.
Hello.
Right? So I'm curious to know, like, what has that been like for you in this space? Because now, you know, you got a lot going on.
Yeah. It is definitely different, and it's not something that I enjoy, but I am such a firm believer. Like, opening up my studio really gave me a battery pack of faith that I'm just like, okay, you get what it is. Everything has a season. Everything has a reason. As sad as it makes me feel, as much as I cherish the relationship, the friendship, whatever it is, that some things have to come to an end to open up doors for new things, even though you don't see them right away. Some seasons, you know, they fade, they come back, they whatever it is, and maybe regardless of the fact, wherever their life is going, maybe I wasn't the person that I maybe could have been blocking their blessings
for sure, right?
You get what I'm saying?
You gotta look at things both
sides of the way, So I'm just like, whatever the reason is and whatever it is, I trust God's plan, His timing, and whatever. And I'm cool with shifting.
Amen. Yeah, that's okay, right?
Yeah.
And
I'm so cool.
I'm now, you know, I remember when I used to get here, because you said something before, you know, we were filming that you used to say, oh, I don't have no family here. And people had to tell you, stop saying that. Yeah. You know, I used to be saying, well, you know, I'm here by myself. I got one person, but I'm here by myself. Yeah. But I've met people that's let me know and reassured me, like, no, you're not here by yourself now, you know. And that's all, you know, God is so good.
I'm trying to tell you.
You know, when I think about going home sometimes, Lord knows I don't want to be home, but I'm like, oh my God, I don't have nobody here. Next thing you know, I done met so-and-so, or I done met so-and-so. So God always, you know, reassures me, like, you may feel this way, but trust my plan. I'm always got your best interest at heart. I'm always sending people in your path, you know, for this or that. So that's a blessing, you know, to not go through those moments. But, you know, like you said, they do hurt, but you got to be a mature person to look and see, like, maybe I was blocking doing this on this person.
Too.
They
got
somewhere to go
next
too.
Level,
yeah. Everybody
wish you all the best.
Yes.
You know?
And go about your business, right?
I'll see you in the on the flip side.
Okay, at the finish line.
And it'll still be the same love, the same whatever. Like, there doesn't have to be any hard feelings. So, but it's taken a lot of time and a lot of maturity
and healing. You know,
to be like, to say that it's just not me losing, you know, or, oh, they just left my life and now I'm about to be up. No, maybe I need to leave their life for them to be up.
Exactly, and right?
That's cool too.
I love to hear that. That's very mature. So, look, we have so many other things to still talk about.
Yes.
I do want to talk about, before we talk about Function Matters, your book, okay? Because I can't even believe that you're still working in OT. Yeah. I told her I was on her page and I seen that she had OT and the author and the book Function. I'm like, is this old? There is no way. Yeah. JoJo, the content killer, photographer, mom of two, is still, you know.
Oh, I got a whole nother life on that page.
Yes.
A whole nother life.
So tell me about the opening of your studio. Like, is that something that you even envisioned for yourself when you first got into this? How did that come about? Was it easier than you expected? Was it like, oh, Lord, this is hard, but I'm doing it? Yeah. You know, just tell me about that.
Like, God, are we still doing this? Whenever you decide, we ain't got to do that. Trust me, I'll be all right.
I'm cool.
Yeah. Your plan, not mine.
Right. So we here.
Yeah, we here. We gonna rock and roll. And again, it's 6 years.
6 years.
Yeah.
Congratulations on that.
So, oh my gosh, it'll be 7 years. 2019. No, 6 years. Oh my God. Yeah, that's a long time. Ooh, let's not talk about how much that costs in rent.
Right, because you, again, wearing multiple hats, and you know what I want to talk about this is because I remember around the time maybe when I first started following you.
Did I already have it?
You had just had it.
Yeah.
I moved to Atlanta in 2021, January 2021.
So I had it for a couple years.
So you had it like a few years, and I remember seeing the post about it. I'm like, okay, this is fairly new, you know, but. I'm just curious to know, like, what did it take to get there? Because when I look at it, I just see all the glory.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know the backstory or the stresses that you had to go through to even get to that grand opening. And now you got two.
No.
Okay.
I opened up a second one. It didn't work out.
Okay.
But again, it may have been my timing and not God's. So,
right.
Not saying one day we may have a franchise, y'all. We never know. But, you know. Whatever he decides.
I love to hear that.
So for my studio, I would do these things a long time ago. This when Content Killa was in full force. I used to host these things called power shoots. Okay. So I would rent my friend's space, and I would literally transform her whole. She had a last studio. I would transform her entire last studio and have almost shoot stations, like how my and I would theme it. We would have themes like taking your brand international or. We would make all these themes. I had my cousin and my friend who would help me with the decor. They do events. Okay. So we would literally transform my friend's space. And she was getting her second location in the plaza that I'm in now. She was like, oh, I looked at this other place. She was like, oh, you can have your power shoot at my second location because she hadn't built it out yet. So she was like, it's a blank canvas. You would love it.
Do your thing.
Yeah, do your thing. You don't have, because I would literally move all her stuff out, like flip her place. She would always be so amazed. And like, she's like, JoJo, I don't know how y'all do this. But when I was doing that, she was like, oh, you know what? There's a smaller space a couple doors down that would be perfect for a studio. And I was like, girl, no, I don't want no studio. Let's look at your place so I can map it out, send videos to the girls so we can figure out this content, this power shoot. Right. So, girl, I just entertained her and walked down, and I looked in the window, girl, and I could not get this place out of my mind.
Love it.
It was so crazy because before I went to go look at her space, I was on the phone with somebody, girl. And I was like, you know what? For my pain and suffering, you kind of owe me, like, wouldn't it be dope for me to have, like, a studio? I want floor-to-ceiling windows, brick on the outside. Like, I was just talking about all this stuff literally the same day when I went to go look at I was like, oh, I got to go look at this space for my power shoot. I'll talk to you later. But I was just naming all this stuff, floor-to-ceiling windows, and I want it to be brick on the outside. I was like, it'd be perfect. Like, I could shoot my clients in there, and I could shoot all the stuff for Stylish Shows, my shoe brand. I was like, I feel like you owe me that at minimum, you know? So I go and look at her space. It wasn't until I looked in the window and I was like, oh my gosh, I cannot get this place out of my mind. So I called my mom, who I know, you know, Haitian lady, no risk. Okay. How's this going to make you money? No risk. I was like, oh, mommy, my friend just showed me a place. She was like, oh, it'd be a good place for a studio. Don't you think that's crazy? And she was like, no. And I was like, I'm gonna call you back. Right.
So I called my brother.
I need some energy to be like, no, girl, don't do this. Okay. And I called my brother. He like, nah, that actually be kind of lit. I'm like,
wait a minute, guys.
I went down the list of like calling, like, isn't this a crazy idea? Like, I would literally start it like, isn't this just crazy that she thinks
somebody to feed like, into your doubt, but everybody
like, no, we actually think that's a good idea. And I was like, you know what? Whatever, but that whole weekend I could not get this place out of my mind. The whole thing conundrum happened with the power shoot and that location that I ended up having to switch it somewhere else last minute. Wow. And everybody was like, see, if you had your own place, this wouldn't have happened. And I was like, okay. But I still couldn't get this place off my mind. So I went to church that Sunday, and literally it was the same thing. I was like, you know what? I'm going to go to this parking lot and say a prayer. I was like, you know what, God? I didn't want to be a photographer. I never asked for this business. So if this is also part of the plan, I will do it. But I need a clear sign from you. Because, baby, I don't want no mobile.
Okay.
Hello?
I feel you, girl.
I'm fine with shooting people outside. They rent their own space or whatever. Like, we got a good thing going here. When I need a space, we have a good thing going. I need a clear sign from you. I literally was in the parking lot saying that prayer. My friend just happened to be there. I didn't tell her what I came to do at the parking lot. She just happened to be there. We were out there chit-chatting. And girl, I pulled that door. Like, somebody laughing, you keying, and you just pull on something, and the door swung wide open.
It was yours. That's crazy.
I was like, okay, God, I guess I'll call these people on Monday.
I love God, man, because he moved quick like that, too.
I did not leave that parking lot without that sign.
Let me see really? Wow.
That was literally the same that I finished that prayer, and she was like, hey, girl, what
then
you
right
doing
there,
here?
that's what I'm saying.
God
move quick like that sometimes.
So the picture on my social media of me on the floor in that studio was that day.
No.
Because the door was literally open. So I took that picture there, and I was like, I guess I'll apply on Monday. Yeah. So, yeah, they just asked me what my name was and whatever. And was like, okay, this is your space. So I was like, okay.
I love that. So we're going to talk about development, and the reason why this is important because you have the function matters.
Yeah.
But you are someone who's just been constantly developing.
I've just always said yes.
Journey.
God says, here you go. I say, okay.
And I love that.
Okay, in hesitancy, not like yes.
Right.
I'm like, okay. But I show up anyways.
And you show up anyway.
He takes you where you know. Opening up a business unexpected without a plan was probably the craziest thing I've ever done. The best thing, but the craziest thing.
So once you've done that, what has been like the hardest part of that though? If someone is watching this and they're like, oh, I'm about to go do it, what would you say? Listen, well, before you get into your own space, if I could go back, this is what I would have did before I did that. What kind of advice, if anything?
I've been rewriting my wrongs because the thing is, because God always makes a way out of no way doesn't mean that you should just keep your eyes closed and say, you know what, God, you figure it out. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I would say my biggest thing is if for people who are getting brick and mortars or starting up a business or whatever it is, just taking the time to save, plan accordingly, look at think about your profit and your loss and make it make sense. It's gonna make sense. You get what I'm saying? But you have to meet him. You don't have to meet him halfway, but you have to meet him.
Yeah.
Like faith without work is dead. Just because he gives it to you doesn't mean you don't have to work. So don't treat it like this whole naive type thing that, oh, the rent is gonna come. And yes, it is gonna come, but one day he'll shake you up and make you realize that, hey, this is a us thing.
This a partnership, baby.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're put here to help fulfill the purpose, but that's so you got to be there.
Got to do it.
Yeah. So plan a little bit, y'all.
They say if you fail to plan, you plan to fail.
Hello. Stay ready so you don't have to get ready.
Period. All that. Okay.
Yeah.
Motherhood. Yeah. When I first moved here in 2021, y'all, she was not a mom.
She was a mommy.
She is the mom. So I just want to know what has that been like for you? Motherhood looks great on you.
Oh, girl.
It looks good on you, and you give me hope that when I step into that journey, I'd be able to still be in my purpose, but still have my purpose as a mother to my little ones or whatever, and still, do all the things. So what has motherhood, been like for you? What has it taught you about yourself that you maybe didn't know? What has that been like?
Motherhood is amazing. It is you prepare your whole life to be a mother, and then you realize that you are so unprepared. You don't know.
That's funny.
A thing. Yeah. I was like, this is a job that you think you're working so hard for, and then you get the job and you like, this ain't the position I thought it was. in a good way, but it makes you learn a lot about yourself. It makes you step up in ways that you never did. Like I'm a very I would say I'm a very passive person. Okay. Like just my personality is just like, I ain't got time to go back and forth. Some people may see it as, oh, she don't care. It's just that I am not I don't like to argue. I don't like to go back and
Save
forth.
my energy
I'm not
for anything else.
Yeah, confrontational. That's just not my personality. Oh, baby, now I'm finna go toe to toe. Mama Bear has been ignited.
That's
sister,
so funny.
And girl, please. I cared then. Now I don't care. You know,
Yeah.
I just be ready. And I think they are the boost that I needed to in business too. Like I was telling you earlier, like before I'll pay somebody to do this, and I'm like, it's okay, you know, it's all right. I'll just find somebody else to do it. And now it's not okay. Because what we pay in daycare is probably the cost of a G-Wagon.
That's cool.
You get what I'm saying? So no, I cannot give you $500 to play with my business. I paid you for a service. I need it done. I ain't even got the time to do it. So it has forced me to be the best version of myself, because I have two people to show up for.
Amen.
You know, so I think I've benefited personally, but also my business has benefited.
Really?
Yeah. Because I do business different.
Yes.
I'm like, okay, what we using here that we don't
strictly business.
Because before it's just, oh, cool. The money comes out, you just like whatever. Now I'm like, hold on, what was this $9.99 for? What are we paying $3? I see money come. Before I was just like, oh, that's just the cost of business.
Yeah.
No.
Make it make sense now.
Now it got to make sense. Now the
Every
number got
dollar.
a number. Yeah. Because if I could be putting that in my kid's saving account, or, you know, or making it, using that money to make things easier for me, where I can free up time to be an active mom and to be a present mom.
For sure.
Then that's what I would rather spend the coins on than, you know.
What do you hope maybe that your sons are seeing? What are they learning? You know, what do you hope, that they're learning and soaking up from you when they watch you like operate in your purpose, you know?
It is a double-edged sword. The other day I had an aha moment when I was in Florida at my parents' restaurant with my kids. I was like, oh my gosh, this is my childhood. Then I realized, oh my gosh, I have my own business that I get to take my kids to sometimes, which I think it is very empowering and motivating. So I love that part about it. So I hope that they see hard work and just work ethic and giving people your word and showing up in excellence and knowing that you can do both. You can juggle whatever it is. You can be a professional, you can be an entrepreneur. It doesn't make you any less of an entrepreneur. As a matter of fact, it makes you a crazy entrepreneur.
Right.
To have a job and to run a business.
Because entrepreneur hours are 24/8.
Plus, you have your whatever already dedicated to other people. But online, it makes it seem like you're less of an entrepreneur if you have a job.
Which is crazy, right?
But it's crazy if you're doing both. Yeah. You know, so showing them that you can do whatever you want, you know, with determination, showing up, having a good work ethic, keeping your word, and embracing your gifts.
Yes. Heavy on the embracing your gifts. I love that. Yeah. What's next for JoJo? You've been the content killer, you stylish experience, you photographer. You are the queen of these headshot hangouts that I promise you.
You need to be at one.
Oh, I am gonna be at that next one.
Yes,
okay, I need y'all hearing it here now. I'm gonna make a whole reel for me at the next headshot hangout. Come on. So yes, what's just next for JoJo? Like, what can we expect from you? What's next for JoJo?
Well, y'all, I'm always up to something.
Always up to something. I love that.
Ideally, a goal for me and the whole Capture by Jo brand is to be a full-blown agency where I help entrepreneurs show up online in excellence, not just from a photo standpoint, but from a strategic, thought-out content process. So I've been like beta testing this thing called the Content Accelerator, where they get photo and video content. Yeah, with a whole content plan.
Okay. Easy.
Personalized.
Doing the work.
Yeah.
And that's the difficult part of it. Just the whole thinking of it.
And the whole strategy process where we have a strategy session in person where we map out what do you want this business to look like, and then we create content ideas based on that. So by the time they walk out of the strategy session, we already come up with a plan. Okay. So and then we have our actual content day. So I use the process that I do for my personal content. I have a content day for my personal brand and for Captured by Jo, where I have a day where I come up with a plan. I spend a day where I shoot all my content. So everything you see for that month,
you've done it in a day.
Yeah.
But that's so smart.
Yeah,
you know, you invest the time now, you're freeing you up later.
Because I don't have the time. So I map out a content day. It's normally towards the end of the month. I do not go to my content days without a strategy. Even though I could show up and still do a 1-2, but it's not strategic. It's not a plan. It's marketing. And I don't have time to waste. Macy's don't show up today. They shoots without a plan. They planning today for 2026 when they show up to a shoot. So I try and use those same tactics and teach my people to stop showing up unprepared for their shoots. And that's how you make the most of your content. So when I'm talking about the headshot hangout, that was a month ago when I shot that content. All the promo you see, all of the videos.
Love that.
Yeah. So I have a content day where I do all my content in those 4 or 5 hours. So that's what I'm teaching my people to do. I take them through that accelerator to help them create. But I would love to have like a full-blown agency where I help people not have to have the burden of always trying to figure it out on their own. Because sometimes content is not your wheelhouse. It just happens to be mine, you know? Where I can show up and promote my business. But everybody, sometimes if you're doing IV hydration, you want to worry about the drips and you want to worry about the cocktails that you put in the hydrate. You don't want to also think about what my photos need to look like and what I need to be promoting and what the video needs to, or even editing the video. So, yeah, that would be ideal goal for Captured by Jo. For Jo Jo Stylez, honey, I need the brand partnerships.
Okay.
So I want to get back to creating for other brands, which I recently just did a 3-post collab with Temu, y'all.
Okay.
I never even shopped on Temu. I don't know how they found your girl, but you know, God got his ways.
I'm telling you, God be moving. So, you know, my dad always be saying, God always remind me, just let me be me. You do you, and I'm gonna do me. Yeah. You know, and trust that.
And the second you try to do somebody else, he like, hold on now.
Yeah. We just gotta know and trust and believe. When God doing him, that's the best to ever do it. It's getting done. You know what I mean?
Get done.
So I love to hear that. Why does function matter? I want to talk about the book real quick.
So as an occupational therapist, a lot of people don't know what I do, but I'm a pediatric occupational therapist. So I work with children with special needs to help them reach their full potential, whatever that potential is. I work with children on the spectrum, Down syndrome, different chromosomal diagnoses, just across the board, where I'm helping them get as close technically to their peers. But I, as a therapist, don't believe in that analogy. I feel that everybody should be able to reach their full potential and whatever that potential is, and not always being compared to you're 10, so you need to be doing what 10-year-olds do. Right. Everybody is individualized and different. And it's funny because I use these same strategies with my photography clients. But
it's all personalized.
Yes,
I love that.
So, as an occupational therapist, I always meet kids where they are. I make whatever our goal is fun. And that's why I named the book Function Matters, because it is not about where people want you to be. It's where you are functionally and getting to that function, your maximum function matter, and, you know, be fun and purposeful at the same time. So when I took that year break for OT and I was like, nah, you need to go back, sister. I was like, okay, I'm always looking at my nurse clients. Like I told you, they do IV hydration. They got med spas and they're able to use their medical degrees in something so different than what we're taught. And I was like, you know what, if I got to go back to OT, I'm always like so inspired by them. I'm like, I wish I could use my medical profession for something different,
something else.
So when I decided to go back to OT, God gave me this idea for this workbook. So I named it Function Matters, because that is always been my goal as a therapist, to use function to get their ultimate function, but to also make it fun and purposeful. So my book is, it is kind of inspired by my son, who he's now 3, but for that demographic, for toddlers who are working on fine motor skills, visual motor skills, hand-eye coordination. So it's pre-handwriting things and worksheets. And again, this goes back to how you're always saying things come full circle.
They do.
I'm a Canva queen. I had to be, you know, when
Right.
you're doing everything in your business. So I would use those tools. Like I was always making graphics and stuff for my photography business. So when my kids at work would need worksheets that I couldn't find, I would just make them on Canva real quick.
I love it.
So using the tools that sometimes you think your businesses are so separate and so different, but God is giving you these skills and these nuggets that you apply to whatever the branch is. You get what I'm saying? So, so that's how Function Matters came about, using my OT knowledge. But what's crazy is all the skills I've used and had to use for my photography business for survival to make a workbook based on development.
I love that so much. I really, really do. Some of the things you're saying are just like sticking in my head so much. So thank you for your wisdom. I appreciate everything that you just said. I'm still taking it in. How can we stay in contact with you directly? How can we stay in contact with you? And I just want to say, though, I can hear... You know, I can see now after hearing that, I can see why you're still in OT. Yeah. Though, you know, it's
people are like,
okay,
you're so passionate about content creation until you see Jo Jo the therapist, and you're like, oh, she's passionate about all the things. So you guys can keep up with me on these internet streets, honey.
Tell us where.
You can keep up with my personal brand at Jo Jo Stylez, Styles with a Z _. Website is www.jojostyles.com. Same thing on YouTube, Jo Jo Stylez. For my photography business, you can keep up with me at capturedbyjo _, and the website is the same, www.capturedbyjo.com. And by then you'll be able to keep up with me on all the other things. But follow those two. Those are the main two.
Yes.
And my studio is the Stylish Loft Studios.
Yes. So, you know, at the Stylish Loft, where is that located?
It's in Mableton, Georgia. It's maybe about 15-20 minutes from downtown. So free parking, y'all. So if you guys,
you know, everywhere costs for parking in Atlanta.
Hello. So if you guys ever want to create content, I do rent my space out where you can use it to create content creation. I renovated it a couple years ago before I had my first son. So it's fly, y'all. It's a vibe.
Love that.
And so it's open for creatives, entrepreneurs, other photographers, videographers to rent to create content as needed.
I just want to thank you for taking the time out of your busy day. Okay, and you're just life and everything coming to sit with me. You truly are a woman that is winning. One of the first that I followed when I moved to Atlanta. So I'm honored to just have you here. I feel blessed to be able to see you witnessing to motherhood. It looks so good on you. I can tell that you love your boys and are grinding for them. Like, I love seeing you do your thing.
The grind has shifted real quick.
I love it. It looks good. And you look phenomenal. Those boys are blessed. I'm excited to witness more from you.
Thank you so much for having me, and happy birthday.
Thank you, girl. Leo season. We out here.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you. She's been so patient with me, y'all, because I tried to make my outsides now match my insides, because we juggle a beautiful chaos over here, and she's just been so patient with just reaching out and just making sure that, keeping up with me, and just like, JoJo, remember, don't forget about me. And thank you so much for always just reminding me that this is, I love that this was my first podcast. Thank you for making it welcoming. And yes, I love it. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. If you're tuned in right now, make sure you follow Ladies in Motion on all platforms. You do not want to miss the Women That's Winning that's coming up in store. We got some great women that's winning, y'all, coming up in store. So make sure you follow us. If you are still here and you're new to the channel, welcome. And if you've been here, welcome back. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and hit the notification button. So next time I go live or have a sit down session with the woman that's winning, you'll be the first one to know, okay? I do have to give a last shout out to Renewed Canvas Beauty Bar for, again, sponsoring this episode. Make sure you visit her, located on the outside of Atlanta in Jonesboro, because your hair, it really does deserve royalty. Period. Bye.
Bye.